Kurush, or otherwise known in the Western world as Cyrus, was one of the greatest conquerors of all time and one of the most legendary figures in all of ancient history. He was admired by not only his own people, but the Greeks alike for his management of the Persian Empire. He was rumored to be orphaned as a boy, but grow to prominence after he survived multiple attempts at his life during his youth to grow up to overthrow the Median Empire to establish the Persian one, and would rule over the largest empire the world had seen. However, after ruling for many glorious years, he was reported by Herodotus to have met a rather unsavory end. He was murdered by the queen Tomyris of the Sakas, a nomadic peoples from the north who had invaded from Central Asia and had come into conflict with the Persians. And during the conflict, the Persians initially had the upper hand, but due to the murder of Tomyris' son, her rage was too great, and Cyrus was subsequently cut down. However, this story is false. It presents a whole host of issues. One, first and foremost, it was written decades after the death of Cyrus and was not mentioned in any other sources. This was purely mentioned by Herodotus, and all other mentions from other historians were purely based on this original mention by Herodotus. So it does raise the question of, did Cyrus die in Central Asia fighting the Saka against Tomyris? And the short answer is no. And this will be a part of a series examining histories which have been seen by the public as being true or presented as otherwise true, but are almost certainly false. And the reason that we know that this story is false, a major invasion of the Saka, did not occur around this period when the Persians were at one of their greatest extents, as there was no real concern about the north of any of Cyrus's successors, and even a succession crisis did not result in any meaningful land loss, which strongly indicates that whatever threat the Saka posed had been somewhat minimal and would only really rise up in the reign of Darius, where Darius would have had to deal with more of the northern tribes, but even he didn't seem to struggle too greatly against them. This story is almost certainly apocryphal, and it leads us to a second case of false histories, Tomyris the Turk. Tomyris was from the Saka tribe. The Saka tribe was of Iranic origin, as known by the migration periods of the time as shown in language and other evidence. The Turk migrations, which happened much later, would have not corresponded with this event. Therefore, Tomyris could have almost certainly, if she exists, purely have been of Iranian origin. The idea that she was of Turkic origin was an idea that is peddled in certain Turkic countries, where she even has her own holidays despite having absolutely no relation.